Hi, my name is Ken Costales, and I'm the founder and lead consultant of Monolith Growth Consulting. My background and the company's background is in the description. Now, this is about how food SMEs need to evolve during and post COVID-19. Now, this is part of a larger series called the Weekly Whiteboard. So, if you want to be notified about that, where we educate small business owners on how to manage their business during this upcoming recession, please like our page and you'll be notified once a new post comes by. Now, let's get to the key part of this presentation. Now, if you were to imagine how you used to serve customers before the pandemic, there were four key stages. One is, of course, the product consumption by your customers. Next is serving them the dishes. Next is cooking the dishes. And finally, paying rent. Okay. Now, what has not changed? What does not change is the consumption part. People still need to consume food on a day-to-day basis. Cooking should also remain the same. So you can cook them at home or in any other area where you have the necessary equipment. But what's going to change during this whole situation? Two things will change. One is how you will serve people, and next is how you will find people. Now, before, when people are thinking about rent, what people are buying really when it comes to rent is foot traffic, right? So you pick a particular location because you buy it for the type of foot traffic that you want in order to serve your customers well. So for example, if you are a premium Filipino restaurant, then you need to rent an area where it attracts a lot of the higher income people that you need to serve, right? Now, this will change because physical spaces is pretty much not accessible during this phase. Now, the way that you need to think through it is that how do you buy or how do you get access to traffic or foot traffic in the digital medium? And the way that you need to think about it is that you need to replace your rent, which was a way to pay for foot traffic. You need to change that into digital marketing because digital marketing does the same thing, which is it gets traffic to your location, right? So this needs to change from rent to digital marketing because it serves the exact same purpose, which is to drive traffic to that area. And that area in particular is going to be an e-commerce website, or for some people's case, it could be the Viber group, right? So website, Viber group. Okay. Now, how do you serve? Now, before, the way people have served customers is fairly straightforward, which is you grab the food from the kitchen and then you serve it to the customer. Now it's different. So you have an area where you need to cook, right? And the way that you serve customers will now change. So it's simply a logistics, or rather, you need a logistics provider which has the necessary safety protocols to ensure that your cake, for example, is intact, it's not mushed around. And it also ensures that if you're serving dishes or warm food, the quality is also intact. So you need a logistics provider to eventually help people consume the product, right? And for the customers itself, you also need a way to get orders or capture orders, right? So what happens next if this is the case? Now, what happens next here is that the way that you need to think about your business right now is that it needs to be thought through like an e-commerce business. And I'll show you an example. So the example that I will show is a cake delivery e-commerce store. So think of this as an online restaurant. So this online restaurant gets traffic through digital ads instead of rent because you don't need to pay for rent anymore. Sure, there's website cost, but website cost is very minuscule at about 1,000 to 2,000 pesos per month, right? So that's very different from, the 5 to even 6 figure rents that you were paying before, right? So your rent is effectively now digital marketing costs because you use these two things to get traffic. And once you pick a cake that you want, or if once you pick a dish that you want, you can simply add it to your list of orders. So you can select things like delivery date, um, order, etc. Right? So first, so let's just put a test message here. So it's now in your order. So if you were in a Chinese restaurant, this is basically the area where you tick the orders that you want, right? So I want two pieces of this, I want 3 dishes of that, etc. And then you check out and order. So this takes in the orders, right? Now, before, when you were working in a restaurant, you had a lot of waiters, right, or waitresses that were capturing the orders on a day-to-day basis. Now, if you put everything into one Viber group, it's going to be really, really overwhelming because it's like one waiter or waitress handling hundreds of customers every single day, right? That's untenable. By having a e-commerce platform or a website, you'll be able to manage the orders in a much easier way, right? Because partly that automates the process of collecting the orders, right? So instead of a waitress or waiter ticking each and every one, the website collects the orders by itself, so that part is automated. And all that needs to be done is for the cooks to look at the order, actually cook it, give it to the logistics person, and get it served to the customer. And that's the shift that you need to make if you're a food business, right? The shift that you need to make is that you are now an e-commerce business instead of just a restaurant. Now, if you want to understand more, you can download the case study that is in the description so you can be educated further on how this process looks like. Furthermore, if you need my help or any of our growth consultants' help, you can also schedule a call with us. So good luck, and I hope I get to talk to you soon.